this is what I would call for myself a no touch. And what no touch means is that you're not at support, so you can't buy it, and you're not at resistance, so you can't short it. So you just sit back and just say, all right, well, yeah, let it do what it wants. Right into Bitcoin and crypto analysis, then we'll get into the commodities. But basically what we see is the continuation of this chart holding steady above the channel.
Wait a minute, everyone. We all agree that the crypto market never sleeps, but with countless newsletters out there, how do you choose the best one for you? Bitcoin Zella stands out with its simplicity and clarity. We've crafted an experience that anyone can dive into, whether you're a crypto expert or just a new to the crypto world. Now guess who keeps his eye on us? The author of best-selling book Rich Dad Poor Dad, Robert Kiyosaki. And we want to take this opportunity and thank all the people who trusted us, and we read every comment. And the best part, it's free. Subscribing now means you will get all new information for free. Don't just follow the trends, stay ahead of them. Subscribe to Bitcoin Zella today and enjoy the new edge. Let's join Gareth in this video about Bitcoin, Ethereum, and more.
Right, so we have our very clear channel, pivot low to pivot low, pivot high right through here. We got above it, we came back in, we tested, and now 3 days in a row we've tested that line. It is still holding. So as of now, the bias remains positive on Bitcoin as long as you don't get a daily close below that line. And so far, it's held up amazingly well. So you got to be impressed with Bitcoin's resilience. Yesterday, the stock market was down. Granted, NVIDIA, which is my indicator for risk on, risk off, NVIDIA was up yesterday about $9 or so. Today, we're seeing, again, the stock market down, but even Bitcoin is holding up at this point. So as of now, Bitcoin is finding these buyers even in spite of a little bit of weakness in the stock market. And again, the idea here is that as long as it holds here, eventually you get that move up, which should take us to that double top 74,000 level up here. That'll be the next big resistance level and test for Bitcoin. All right, next up, quickly we'll look at Ethereum here and see what Ethereum's showing us. Now, Ethereum, again, got the ETF approvals that they needed, or at least that other firms, so they could launch those ETFs. And we did see the big initial move. And then since the ETF approval, it's really just gone sideways. So we aren't at the double top yet. We're not at support. This is what I would call for myself a no touch. And what no touch means is that you're not at support, so you can't buy it. And you're not at resistance, so you can't short it. So you just sit back and just say, all right, well, yeah, let it do what it wants. If it wants to come down like this and dump out, if the crypto markets dump out, there's a buyable level right down here. And if it wants to turn up and shoot up, maybe there's a shortable level around 4,100. I actually wouldn't short it there. I have a level at around 42 to 4,300 that I'm eyeing, which is an upsloping trend line. I'll show you guys that another time. But either way, in this range, you know, again, there's not resistance close, there's not support close. So if you're not in it, for me as a technical trader, and again, I'm a shorter term technical trader, you just sit back. You say, all right, I'll go to another chart and I'll look at another chart. Now, I will show you guys, we'll do some Cardano here. I haven't done Cardano in a while. I know a lot of fans out there of Cardano. So ADA USDT we'll take a look at here. And the kicker here on Cardano is that, believe it or not, it's forming potentially a bearish pattern of consolidation. And that's the only thing. And by the way, I actually like Cardano overall, but for the most part here, there's just a scenario where it hasn't been able to get its mojo yet to the upside. And what I mean by that here, you can see it very clearly, is that if I were to ask you guys, and I'm assuming some of you guys have been watching for a while and know your technical analysis, if you have a down move and then you go like this, what type of pattern is that? It's a bearish pattern. And so it's up to me to just recognize them, and it is what it is. And so what we're seeing here is that sort of pattern. And so as of now, it's still holding support here around 44, 43 cents right down here. But if that breaks, I have a level that I would be interested myself in buying at around 35 cents. And 35 cents, I think I would step up there. Now, again, does it mean that it will break down? No. I mean, a bear flag can fail, absolutely. But the beautiful thing about it is we know when it fails, right? If it breaks above this trend line, very clear. If we get priced to trade up here, let's say above 50 cents, now you've broken the bearish pattern and you'll get momentum to the upside. And that's the beauty of being a trader, is that you want to isolate down your technical levels, know where it's bearish, where it breaks down, where the bearish pattern fails and breaks to the upside, and it gives you these amazing additional insights that give you really control, right? It's all about having control and understanding the likely scenario and the likely outcome.
Trump explores Bitcoin to tackle U.S. debt crisis. With U.S. debt at $35 trillion, former President Donald Trump is considering Bitcoin as a solution. Trump consulted Bitcoin expert David Bailey, indicating a significant policy shift. Cathie Wood, CEO of Ark Invest, met with El Salvador's President Nayib Bukele, praising his plans to make the country a hub for Bitcoin and AI. She predicts El Salvador's GDP could increase tenfold in 5 years. Bitcoin maintains stability near the upper boundary of its descending range, signaling a buildup of strength before potential upward movement. Despite market attempts to sway prices, volatility remains low, with major coins seeing modest fluctuations.
Gold today, guys, a little sideways chop. We were down earlier before the dollar fell and the yields fell on the back of the economic news today. But I would just caution everyone that the news today is kind of second tier. It is giving a reprieve after 2 big updates on the 10-year. But for the most part, it's all about tomorrow's PCE data that will be out at 8:30. And then we're going to either see this bearish. And listen, same thing, like we just discussed on Cardano, right? What type of pattern is this potentially forming, right? So again, listen, we'll see what happens tomorrow. If it breaks it back above this upsloping trend line, it flips to bullish. As long as it stays below here, that's your probability-wise, and I'm talking strictly from a probability standpoint, that's bearish consolidation, so probabilities favor the downside near term. You guys know I'm a huge bull longer term. Let's take a look at the pre-market data. So this is, again, the SPY chart, which is the S&P tracking ETF. We get the pre-market data from this. This is the 10-minute chart, so it shows us on a 10-minute basis what the markets are doing. All right, so initially, basically, what we have here is the price action. You can see the rollover that took place in the overnight. And then again, we are trading back up a little bit off of that. So we're off of the lows, but we are still down from the close yesterday. And that's something to kind of keep an eye on here on the SPY. So we are lower on the day. Now, the reason for this drop, and we're going to get right into that now, are these earnings on CRM. Take a look at this drop. If you watched Trading the Close yesterday with me, you saw this happen in real time, this collapse. And again, interestingly enough, the level here, this 224 level, is a major technical level. Look at how price is bouncing off of it in the pre-market. Now, I'm going to go to the daily chart so you guys can see exactly where this level comes from. Like, how does Gareth find these levels? And the answer is at least for me, it's simple at this point, right? So we basically have a trend line right here, and we can even extend it out just a little bit.
Bitcoin remains near $67,000 as traders anticipate key U.S. macroeconomic data to influence BTC price movement. The world's largest asset manager, BlackRock, has updated its S1 registration statement for the shares Ethereum Trust, which will be listed as ETHA. According to the update, seed creation baskets were acquired by the fund's seed capital investor. Furthermore, several spot Ethereum exchange-traded fund, ETF, applicants now have their respective tickers listed on the Depository Trust and Clearing Corporation's DTCC catalog of ETF. Former President and Republican presidential candidate Donald Trump reportedly inquired about solving the U.S. national debt problem using Bitcoin. Audio recorded by the Bitcoin.com news team confirmed that on an X space held on Sunday night, Bitcoin Magazine CEO David Bailey revealed that Trump asked if Bitcoin could solve the $35 trillion U.S. national debt problem during their first meeting. The presidential meme coin fervor persists, with the token MAGA, TRUMP, hitting an all-time high of $15.45 on Wednesday. This surge elevated the value of Donald Trump's TRUMP coins to $8.06 million on May 29. Additionally, various Trump-related crypto assets are emerging from the woodwork, including one leveraging Bitcoin's Runes protocol for minting. A federal judge has ordered the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC, to pay over $1.8 million in its case against the crypto firm Digital Licensing, also known as DebtBox. The penalty resulted from the SEC's bad faith conduct in obtaining and defending an ex parte temporary restraining order, TRO, based on misrepresentations. Additionally, the judge granted the SEC's motion to dismiss its case without prejudice. If you've been with us so far, a big thank you. Don't forget to subscribe for free to Bitcoin Zella for your daily news. The link is waiting below. That's all for today's crypto news. Stick around for more updates, insights, and analysis on cryptocurrencies. Share your thoughts in the comments, like this video, and subscribe for more exciting content.